I've seen a change in Justin since Haley came into his life, and I think
Many people believe that the decision to marry requires more maturity and experience. Surprisingly, not everybody shares this belief. Some celebrities believe in exploring love as it comes and moving into it immediately without being limited by age. Here are the top 15 celebrities who got married below 30. Number 15. Millie Bobby Brown and Jake Bon Jovi. You don't need to overthink when you meet the only person that makes sense to you. Millie said this when she described her marriage experience with Jake Bon Jovi in a candid interview with the Sunday Times. Everybody wants to meet the person who will make their head go over heels. Having such an experience at a young age is always a good thing. Millie had that luck. Therefore, she didn't let the opportunity slip out of her hands. Are you wondering how the two lovebirds met? You are about to get your perfect answer. Let's start by knowing who Jake Bon Jovi is. Does the name John Bon Jovi ring a bell to your ears? If it is, then you get it. Jake Bon Jovi is the son of John Bon Jovi, the popular musician. Amazingly, the father and son share similar experiences of early marriage. More surprising is that Jake had earlier experience at age 22. The Enola Holmes star, Millie, revealed in an interview with For Wired. She said, "We met on Instagram. Jake's direct message on Instagram was enough to spark a friendship. After that, everything began to ride in the breezy wind of love." In June 2021, Jake shared a selfie photo of himself and Millie in a car. The selfie sparked rumors of a possible affair between the two. A few months after the selfie, Millie confirmed the relationship with an Instagram post on the 1st of November, 2021. The lovebirds were seen sharing a moment of love by kissing each other while riding the London Eye. Fast forward to 2023, the couple told the line of marriage after announcing their engagement in February 2023. The strange thing was that Jake proposed to Millie some meters deep underwater during scuba diving. You can't expect anything less from the Strange Thing superstar. The relationship quickly matured into marriage on the 24th of May, 2024. The low-key wedding was attended by the popular John Bon Jovi, the groom's father. It was a lovely experience, attended by a few other close family members. The young couple exchanged vows again at Villa Centenale in Italy. Millie looked glamorous in a custom Gallia La Have gown, while the groom looked stunned in his Tom Ford tux. It was a wonderful experience. The simple thing to learn from Millie and Jake's relationship journey is not to let age stop you from committing to the one you love. Number 14. Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas. Beautiful things do start early, and all we wish is that they last forever. However, this wish didn't come through in the case of Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas. Their once burning relationship was kindled by the cold liquid of divorce. Before the divorce, let's explore the sweet moment that connected the two exceptional young lovers. Sophie Turner is popular for her role in Game of Thrones. We all love how she grew from an innocent young girl to a tactical leader in the movie. Joe Jonas, on the other hand, is a talented musician. What joined the 23-year-old Sophie and 28-years-old Joe together? The connecting line was Instagram. Yes, you heard it right. Like the previous celebrity, the soulmate shared their first conversation on Instagram's direct message in 2016. Initially, Sophie found no deeper meaning to the conversation than a random, casual dialogue. However, things were not meant to be the same. The changes began when they met each other physically in a British pub. Everything took an intense turn. A year later, Joe couldn't take any chances. He popped out the adorable question, "Will you marry me?" Of course you know the answer. Sophie said yes. If there wasn't a positive answer, they wouldn't be on this list. Fast forward, and the soulmates solidified their relationship into marriage. Surprisingly, they had to tie the knot twice so it won't easily get loose. Unfortunately, it wasn't as strong as they wanted. The first marriage was in a surprise ceremony in Las Vegas. Everyone was taken aback in a state of surprise. The second marriage took place in the French countryside. Are you wondering how fruitful the marriage was? The couple welcomed their first daughter, Willa, in 2020, and their second daughter, Delphine, in 2022. Sophie expressed her emotions over the marriage in an interview with Elle in 2020. She said, "I love being married. I think it's wonderful. I'm sure we'll have our hiccups, but right now, the security and the safety are everything." Unfortunately, the hiccup became too much, and the adorable couple parted ways on the 6th of September, 2024, after almost a year of court proceedings. Number 13. Justin and Hailey Bieber. One of the most interesting stories about a young celebrity couple is that of Justin and Hailey Bieber. The two lovers tied the knot at ages 24 and 21, respectively. Justin and Hailey's relationship dates back to 2009 after a casual meeting in a meet-and-greet backstage at the Today Show. Hailey was just 12 years old at that time. The two would-be couple just shared a good handshake, and everything went off. The teen idol, Justin, got himself in an on-and-off relationship with Selena. Justin and Hailey have always been friends behind the scenes, sharing photos and conversations. However, things began to take another shape after the two were seen at the New York outpost of the Hillsong Church. Although their connection looked like two lovebirds affectionately tied together, they refuted any relationship claim. They continued in the hide-and-seek relationship, with Justin falling in and out with Selena Gomez. On the 7th of July, 2018, everything seemed to take a final shape. What looked to be a surprise turn of the story, Justin Bieber finally proposed to Hailey. Not long after, the young couple married on the 30th of September, 2019, at the Montana Palmetto Bluff in Bluffton, South Carolina. Over 150 family and friends witnessed the adorable event. The couple has had their fair share of ups and downs, growing stronger and deeper in love through it. The couple welcomed their first child in August 2024 after about 5 years of marriage. Number 12. Avril Lavigne and Derek Whibley. Talk about an adorable Canadian couple. You can never stop being amazed by the love story of Avril Lavigne and Derek Whibley. The couple might have gone their separate ways, but shared an interesting love story. When you talk about the superstar of the female division of pop punk, you will have to press a long pause on the name Avril Lavigne. Derek is also a force to be reckoned with in the singing and songwriting sector. These two successful musical icons married in 2006 at the early ages of 21 and 26, respectively. Before the marriage, the young lovers shared a good moment of friendship far back in 2005, when Avril was just 17 years old. The friendship metamorphosed into dating after Derek boldly asked, "Will you marry me?" in 2005 at Venice, Italy. The relationship was locked in dating until 2006, when the superstar lovers felt it was the right time to put the marriage stamp on their relationship. The marriage was held privately in California. By 2009, Lavigne felt too young to be married. She wanted more freedom to explore new opportunities and weird cravings. The result was a divorce in the same year. The couple has maintained a good friendship ever since then. Number 11. Timothy Olyphant and Alexis Neef. Talk about a marriage that has to withstand the beauty and ugliness of 3 decades. Then you will talk about Timothy Olyphant and Alexis Knief. This couple decided to take the journey of I do at a young age, and they are still waxing stronger. Timothy was just 23 when he stepped into the big shoes of marriage. Let's take a look at their love story. The young lovers met during college at the University of Southern California. Their relationship clicked and blossomed until 1991, when the lovebirds decided to exchange marriage vows. Timothy wasn't the superstar he is today during his marriage. However, things started taking a new turn, and life became more detailed. Timothy's acting career grew, and his role in the television series Deadwood catapulted him into stardom. However, the increase in popularity didn't divert his interest in his marriage. As the couple welcomed career success, they also welcomed their wonderful kids. They welcomed their first daughter, Grace, in June 1999. After 2 years' break, Henry, their second child, came with a bundle of blessings. In 2003, the last daughter, Vivian, was welcomed into the family. Timothy's wife maintained a low-key life, a life that was distanced from the glare and glamour of celebrity. She was more dedicated to building her family while leaving her husband to the paparazzi of the showbiz. Although she occasionally appeared on the red carpet alongside her husband, the reserved and conservative lifestyle could have been the recipe for their successful marriage. The last daughter, Vivian, won't follow her mother's conservative path, but rather her father's celebrity path. The young upcoming star has chosen her father's career and appeared alongside him in movie roles. Number 10. Britney Spears and Kevin Federline. One could say that Britney Spears doesn't get lucky when choosing the right partner, or perhaps she is not the stable type. In the wake of 2004, the news of Britney's first marriage was buzzing on the internet and different media outlets. Everyone anticipated the marriage between Britney and her longtime childhood friend, Jason Allen Alexander. The superstar marriage was a huge success. However, the news that raised everyone's eyebrows came 55 hours later. The highly celebrated marriage was annulled because Britney was not in full control of her actions. That was a very big shocker. When another rumor sparked through the internet later in the year that Britney tied the knot with the backup dancer, Kevin Federline, everyone was left in doubt. The doubt was later cleared as the marriage was real. Everyone was wondering how Kevin just dropped into Britney's life. The truth is that Kevin didn't just show up from nowhere. The two lovers met in July 2004 at a Hollywood nightclub called Joseph's. Britney couldn't resist the strong love chemistry that sparked up after the meeting. We can call it love at first sight. It sounds so novel. Britney was just 22 at this time. Questions began to rise about whether she was in her right mind to decide this time, considering how her former relationship ended. However, when love is involved, people's opinions don't matter. The marriage was held, and every doubt was cleared. The couple didn't give childbirth much thought immediately after the marriage. On the 13th of September, 2005, the couple welcomed their first child, Sean Preston. Just like they were in a rush, they gave birth to their second son, Jaden James, on the 12th of September, 2006, barely a year after their first child. Every year, the marriage was marked with major occurrences. Guess what happened in the third year? The marriage hit the rocks in 2007, and the couple went their separate ways for irreconcilable reasons. Number 9. LeAnn Rimes and Dean Sharamette. Surprisingly, Britney Spears wasn't the only popular musician who hitched up with a backup dancer. You can call LeAnn Rimes a partner in the game. It seems backup dancers are not only entertaining the audience. Some musicians found them so entertaining and marriage-worthy. LeAnn Rimes met her lover when she was 19, while her affectionate soulmate was just 21. The new relationship between Rimes and Sharamette left everyone wondering. It was just a few days before Rimes called it an end with the super actor Andrew Keegan. It was a big surprise that the 3 years relationship couldn't grow into marriage. Doubt began to brew on the sustainability of Rimes's relationship with someone as simple as a backup dancer. As luck would have it, the relationship proved exceptional. The relationship started after a meetup at the Academy of Country Music Awards in Nashville in May, rapidly grew to the level of engagement. The relationship continued to a marriage on the 2nd of February 2002. It was evident that the couple had been cast into a strong love spell. However, it only took 7 years for the spell to break off. The two lovers who once shared profound love couldn't endure living together any longer. It wasn't a surprise when the news of their divorce hit the internet on the 22nd of February 2009. Number 8. Sophia Richie and Elliot Grange. Sophia and Elliot have been around each other since childhood due to their common background in the music industry. Sophia Richie is a big model and online personality and the last daughter of the popular musician Lionel Richie. Does that name ring a bell? On the other hand, Elliot is the son of the music executive Lucian Grange, who has been the CEO of British Universal Music since 2010. Elliot followed as a music executive in his father's footsteps, owning the independent record label 10K Project. The two lovers' strong affection grew stronger. By 2021, the love could not be contained in friendship any longer. Therefore, they took a step further by turning the relationship into a date. The lovebirds kept coupling up and were seen together in different places and occasions. In April 2022, there was nothing to keep Sophia and Elliot waiting again for their engagement. The engagement was a perfect definition of luxury. Sophia couldn't withhold her amazement when Elliot adorned her finger with a large emerald-cut diamond ring. It was an unbelievable moment for Sophia. A year later, on the 22nd of April, 2023, the couple took a step into the forever journey. The ultra-glamorous and star-studded ceremony was held at the Hôtel du Cap Eden Rock in Antibes, France. Richie walked down the aisle in a custom halter-style wedding gown by Chanel, which featured a long train and veil. It was thrilling for the couple, and many guests were in attendance. Ever since their marriage, the couple has shared intense moments of love on different social media channels, celebrating their growing love. Good news came in from the 24 and 29-year-old couple on the 29th of May, 2024. The couple welcomed their first child, Eloise Samantha Grange, and it was an adorable and unforgettable moment for the couple. Everyone desires their marriage to keep passing the test of time. Number 7. Ed Sheeran and Cherry Seaborn. Suppose there is one musician who should be honored for a strong, soulful voice that swayed anyone's mind, then you will undoubtedly choose Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran's voice is not the only fascinating thing about him. He took the big decision into forever at the early age of 27. He saw the right person for him and didn't waste any time. Ed Sheeran and Cherry have known each other for a very long time. They met in high school at Thomas Mills High in Suffolk, England, sharing a casual friendship. Just like every high school relationship used to end, the two friends said their final goodbye after Leavers Ball and prom. Ed Sheeran built a successful musical career, touring the whole world. Cherry was stuck in a book, finding her way to New York to get a master's in accounting. The good story continued for Cherry when she got her master's and began her accounting career on Wall Street. She worked for an accounting firm, Deloitte. Then, coincidentally, Ed Sheeran was on a musical tour in New York. A mutual friend of the old former friends organized a meetup in 2015 in New York City. After the reunion meeting, Ed Sheeran couldn't wait to have another meeting. Ed Sheeran had another tour in New York in 2017 and wanted to perform in Taylor Swift's Rhode Island. The young lovers met the second time, which became a moment they never let go of. A strong definition of love struck through the heart of the amorous friends. Nothing could stop them from marrying in the first month of 2018. They organized an intimate occasion with only 40 guests in attendance. The couple secretly shared their vow. It became evident that Cherry was more of a private and conservative person who shied away from the glamour of the celebrity lifestyle. The lovely couple welcomed their first child, Lyra Antarctica, in 2020. 2 years later, in 2022, the second child came in. She was named Jupiter. Ed Sheeran and Cherry, with their 2 daughters, have continued to grow in a strong family, bonded in genuine love. We only wish it would get better. Number 6. Marilyn Monroe and James Dougherty. When you come across the story of Marilyn Monroe, there is no way you won't find her strong ambition for greatness impressive. She was a typical lady who stopped at nothing until she succeeded. Marilyn started life facing a tormenting experience when she was small. She migrated from one foster home to another. She continually fell victim to several maltreatments, and her life was surrounded by instability. At 16, she knew perfectly well that she needed to sacrifice something for a more stable life. The perfect sacrifice was to drop out of school and become a housewife. Although that was the most unusual thing for an ambitious young lady to do, Marilyn had already grown tired of moving from one foster home to another. Therefore, sharing a stable life with James Dougherty, a 21-year-old merchant mariner as her husband, wasn't a bad decision. Marilyn could sacrifice her education, but not her ambition to be a successful actress. While keeping up with their housewife duty, most actresses keep running toward becoming big actresses. In 1946, 4 years after the marriage, Marilyn filed for a divorce. The ambitious actress wanted more freedom to pursue her career. She progressed in this path and became a well-celebrated actress, while James Dougherty became a police officer and lived a quiet life. Number 5. Dolly Parton and Carl Dean. Dolly Parton and Carl Dean's 6 decades of marriage are proof of an enduring relationship. Even though their lives were like 2 sides of a coin opposite each other, the couple intelligently managed their differences and built a relationship that could withstand the years. Dolly Parton came from a family of 12. She was the standout 4th kid who had an unquenched thirst for stardom. Her family realized this trait when she was little and supported her. Following Dolly's first musical breakthrough at 13, which got her a musical deal in Louisiana, the iconic country musician was thirsty for stardom. Hence, she traveled to Nashville for greener musical pastures, the big city of songwriters. On her first day in the Music City, 18-year-old Dolly was doing her laundry at the wishy-washy laundromat. The tall and handsome Carl was driving by in his Chevy pickup. Suddenly, his eyes caught Dolly doing laundry outside. Carl had to come down. He expressed concern about Dolly's skin being hurt due to sunburn. This random encounter attracted Carl's heart to Dolly. Not long after that, they began dating. The relationship grew rapidly 2 years after the lovers met and matured into marriage. Dolly was just 20 years old, while Carl was 3 years older. The marriage took place in a secret ceremony in Ringgold, Georgia, about 150 miles southeast of Nashville, on Memorial Day, 1966. Following the marriage, Carl chose a quiet life free from public noise and glamour. while Dolly kept soaring high in her celebrity lifestyle. Another strong decision made by the couple was to remain childless in the relationship. So amazing. Number 4. Ryan Philippe and Reese Witherspoon. Some time ago, Ryan Philippe and Reese Witherspoon's marriage was seen as one of the hottest marriages in Hollywood. It is not news that the duo wasn't just hot-looking, but very good at their movie craft. Everyone perceived the marriage as one of the most adorable things in Hollywood. People say that good things don't last long, and maybe that is why Ryan and Reese didn't fulfill their forever vows. Let's talk about how everything started. In a 1998 interview with Jane magazine, Reese revealed that she met Ryan on her 21st birthday. Seeing Ryan on the birthday, she said, "I think you're my birthday present." Ignoring that such a remark sounded flattering and embarrassing, it also expressed deep affection. Ryan already understood the picture that Reese was painting. The two soulmates bonded after the meeting. Then, a year later, fans were hit with the engagement news of the two adorable actors in 1998. Another incident that strengthened their relationship was the 1990s movie, The Cruel Intentions. Although many people think the movie was the meeting point of the two lovebirds, they are wrong. They had met before the movie, and Reese indeed took up the movie role against her desire. Saying yes to taking the given role in the movie was to satisfy her other half, Ryan. Some weeks after the movie debuted, the couple finalized their wedding arrangement. They married in June 1999 at Old Wide Awake Plantation along the Stono River in South Carolina. Apart from the adorable marriage setting, Reese's baby bump was one of the big scenes to observe in the marriage. It was evident that the star actress was several months pregnant with their first daughter, Ava. Baby Ava was finally due for delivery 3 months after the wedding on the 9th of September 1999. Reese was just a 23 years old young mother. The couple went on to give birth to their second child, baby Deacon, on the 23rd of October, 2003. 3 years after welcoming their second child, fans were thrown into deep shock after the news of their possible separation hit everywhere. Although the separation was a nightmare for the sweet couple, they learned to grow beyond the pain and build a good relationship. They might not be husband and wife anymore, but that didn't stop them from being good co-parents. Number 3. Macaulay Culkin and Rachel Miner. Fame can come with many realities that can be overwhelming and suggest weird actions. Macaulay Culkin's exposure to fame at a very early age after the successful movie Home Alone came with its woes. One of the mistakes that fame brought was the quick marriage that joined Macaulay and Rachel. The two lovebirds were just 18 years old when they got married. Although the young couple had met each other a year before, they believed that fame would sort things out for them, and they could go ahead with marriage. In the year 2000, when Macaulay was 19 years old, he realized the big responsibility of marriage. It was clear to him that marriage is not just about love, but also the maturity to effectively communicate and understand each other. Macaulay admitted in an ABC News interview that he didn't possess such strength during the marriage. You know what happened thereafter. The marriage couldn't see another day. They separated in 2020. Number 2. Kim Kardashian and Damon Thomas. First love can be a little overwhelming and lead to a rush in decision-making if not properly handled. Maybe that characterized Kim's first marriage with record executive Damon Thomas. The fact that the deeply in love young lovers couldn't wait for marriage, but rather eloped, expresses how intense the love was. Kim was just a 19-year-old passion-driven youth, while Damon was a little bit mature and was 29. When Kim looked back on her previous marriage during a show, she said that the most adorable moment in her first marriage was her appearance on the wedding day. She adorned herself in leather capris, a halter top with no back, and big Prada wedges. It is so strange that the only beautiful thing about the marriage was the luxury gratification. It is not strange that the marriage could not last more than 3 years. It quickly grew so unnecessary that Kim's sister, Khloe Kardashian, had to use her savings to help with the divorce. What can you expect from a marriage influenced by substance use? Everything happened through an uncontrolled youthful exuberance, nothing more. Number 1. David and Victoria Beckham. When you talk about David Beckham, the words celebrity footballer and billionaire entrepreneur will cross your mind. Today we won't talk about his exceptional footballing and business exploits. the searchlight will be focused on his marriage to the successful pop and rhythm and blues singer, Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham was a major highlight in the music industry in the 1990s. She was part of the best-selling female group, the Spice Girls, and was popularly called Posh Spice. After the group broke up, she found career meaning in solo music, fashion, and online personality. The marriage between David and Victoria Beckham in 1999 after their engagement a year before was a typical fusion of two stars. During their marriage, David was just 24 while Victoria was a year older. You could ask how and where these two great stars met. They met in a football match. The first and second meetings behind the stadium were all it took to ignite the love moment. The couple gave birth to 4 children. The first was Brooklyn. 2 adorable sons followed Romeo James and Cruz David. Another good news set in on the 10th of July, 2011. The family welcomed the 4th child, a daughter, Harper 7. It was a perfect moment for the family. Which of the celebrity young couples do you find more adorable? Would you prefer to marry before you clock 30 if given the chance? Let us know your answer in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more celebrity gist. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.